going down, fuck the word, I'm a thug. Tell him, can't nothing stop me but a slug.
Again, UFC 216 this weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. By the way, the UFC has announced that things will go on as planned. You know, in the wake of the shooting in Vegas, things are still going to go down as planned. I'm assuming it's going to be higher, you know, a tougher security and a lot of different, they're going to probably be taking precautions just in case. But a lot of people were talking about that like the day after, so it will be going down the same way. You know, it's funny. A lot of people were kind of surprised that they didn't cancel it. I'm not surprised at all that they didn't cancel it. You kind of need stuff like this to start healing, you know. So yeah. Anyway, so UFC 216 this Saturday. Main card. Well, let me start off with the UFC Fight Pass. UFC Fight Pass early prelims, 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:15 p.m. Pacific Time. We have first fight of the night, and I'm just gonna name off the prelims, and then we'll talk in detail about the main card. First fight of the night: Matt Schnell against Marco Beltran, which actually should be a pretty damn good fight. Then number 13 ranked middleweight Talas Leites, who I didn't even know was still in the UFC, taking on Brad Tavares. Then this is our just. What's up?
Do we care about that? Does anybody care about Brad Tavares, Talas Leites?
Not really.
I do.
You
Come
do?
on. Brad Tavares, to me, Brad Tavares is a guy that could be a potential, challenger. He's just been in some really bad fights, in my opinion. I think this is an interesting fight just because, I mean, not only is he a good fighter, he's an exciting fighter, and they put him all the way down here on the prelims. And I'm sure everybody by now knows that, if you go on Wikipedia, everybody on this card has a Wikipedia except for the two women that are on the main card that nobody knows who the hell they are. And
I don't know how they got on the main card.
They couldn't put our boy Brad Tavares or even Walt Harris on the main card. This is ridiculous. But go ahead.
It should have put that Gonzalez Botella fight on there. Ain't nobody will complain about seeing Pro Gonzalez on the main card, I don't think. All right. Then we have the two men, one of them who may replace Ray Borg. Should Ray Borg's fat ass not make weight again? We got number 11 ranked flyweight John Moraga against number 15 ranked Magomed Bibulatov. Then the main fight pass prelim is Walt Harris against Mark Godbeer. Which funny enough, everybody was calling out Mark Godbeer not too long ago. So Walt Harris got that ticket there for himself. So that's at 6:15 Eastern Time, 3:15 Pacific Time. Then on FX, not FS1, not FXX, it's FX. 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. Kicking that one off is Pro Gonzalez against Poliana Botello.
Hey now.
Yeah, Jesse, remind me if you know. Isn't Botello like a replacement?
I'm not sure about that one.
I want to say she's a replacement. I don't think Pro was going to fight her.
Super hot.
Smoker. She's smoking.
Yeah.
She's just smoking. And then here's a firefight and nobody's talking about this fight. Weird enough, this is a good fucking fight right here. Lando Venata against Bobby Green. That's a good fucking fight.
It's a great fight. I mean, at least as far as like action goes, that's a great fight. Like that's a guaranteed firefight for sure. I like Lando Venata in that fight though, man. I think Lando Venata is a fucking nasty striker, honestly, man. Like his striking is fucking nasty. Even that old fucking silly ass El Kakui hurt pretty bad when they fought. I like him in that fight. But Bobby Green's one of those cats that's fucking I hate to call him like explosive or athletic or powerful, but goddamn it, he is. What the fuck? He does have that stopping power. What the fuck? He can clip Lando and put him the fuck out.
Oh my god! White guy saying athletic.
Yeah. Hey, look, I don't know. Look, when did that become a diss? You know, or like a slight? It's like a backhanded compliment. People say it's like a backhanded compliment. That's retarded. Here's the thing: Bobby Green, he's got 3 losses in a row. Edson Barbosa, Dustin Poirier, and Rashid Magomedov. This is a fight for his job. Like he needs this win, or he's off to Bellator or whatever. So, he needs his win badly. Meanwhile, what up?
But don't you think that they even might give him another chance? He was in exciting fights, man. Bobby Green is a fighter. He comes to throw, and like Fred said, I mean, this is going to be a low key, probably just a bloodbath, man. If Lando Venata can throw them hams, and so can Bobby Green, and they can both take it, this is going to get a really nasty fight.
I think this will be fight of the night.
Think so? You know what? If you look at the whole card, there's only 1 or 2 other fights that I think could match it as far as fight of the night. yeah, fireworks type of fight. So yeah, I'm with you on that one. Now I like Venata because he could get wild and he's not afraid to like take chances. So I don't mind him. And he's coming off a loss to David Timur by decision. And Jesse, you have a point. Bobby might get another chance to lose his fight if it's like a close, exciting fight. If he gets finished, man, I have a hard time believing they're gonna give him another shot. But the UFC, you never know. By the way, I heard this today. Did you know the UFC has more fighters on their roster than the NBA has players?
I heard that too on Luke Thomas.
Yeah, Luke Thomas show today. I was like, what?
Yep. Yeah, that is kind of hard to believe.
It's really hard to believe. 30 teams, 31 teams in the NBA, whatever it is. 15 players plus. That makes sense, but still, it's kind of, and you wonder why people can't remember or don't know half the names on a UFC card. They have so many people on this shit, dude. It's like, it's hard to keep up with everybody. All right.
Sure.
After them, we get wow, Ill Will Brooks is back taking on Mr. Nick Lentz. Will Brooks is one of those guys that came from Bellator, and there was expectations of him. What up?
What is this low like energy talking about Ill Will Brooks? Come on, man. He's an exciting fighter.
No, I like Will Brooks.
Having a hard time adjusting to this level of fighting. I think this should have been the main event for the prelims because I think this is actually going to be a very exciting fight between Bobby Green and Lando Venata and Will Brooks and Nick Lentz. I think these two fights are just going to be back-to-back action, unless they end really quick. It would suck, but I mean, Nick Lentz coming off of what, like a bit of a layoff, right? I haven't heard of him fighting in a while, right?
He's been gone for a minute.
So taking on Will Brooks, this is going to be just the real good fight for Will Brooks to get back on that horse and really, kind of wash away that last fight where he took, while he was hurt and all that. And, it was just a bad situation for him in his last fight. So I think this is going to be a good showing for him. I just think that this should have been the main event of this prelims. I thought it was on FXX, by the way. When did they change that to FX?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's fucking whatever. Anyway, but yeah, Will Brooks and Nick Lentz, that's a good fight. I'm with you on it. I just, it's weird that it's at this point. So the main prelim on FX is Tom Duquesnoy against Cody Stamann.
Hey now,
Jesse, you're all about booking and everything. What do you think of this fight?
It's an interesting fight. Tom Duquesnoy, by the way.
Duquesnoy, sorry.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that, he's been on a long run. And I think that's why they're trying to showcase him. He's a Bama guy. That's where they got him from. And, he just recently had his first fight, against Patrick Williams in the UFC. So, it to me, like I said, this is a weird fight. I understand why they're kind of putting this fight here. They kind of want to push both Duquesnoy and Cody.
Yeah.
But again, both guys on long runs, I think Duquesnoy's on like an 8-fight win streak or a 7-fight win streak. And Cody, he's on like a 7-fight win streak as well. So, both of these guys, have pretty good records coming into this fight. So I'm sure that they're trying to promote both of these guys as future of the bantamweight division. But I don't know, man. I don't think a lot of people know who these guys are enough to put them as the headliner of a prelims card. Above, Ill Will Brooks, above, even Walt Harris or any of the other guys that are below this. Even Pearl Gonzalez could have been the headliner of these prelims. Just for our good friend Fred Kirby's delight.
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a couple things. I can't wait to see Miss Pearl shake her. Well, whatever, fine. We won't get into that. But I don't love this matchmaking because I don't know, man. On one hand, you want to see the cats in good fights, but on the other, I kind of want to see them. I can't front, man. I kind of want to see them start going the fucking tomato can route a little bit. I would kind of like to see, how you say his last name? Duquesnoy?
Duquesnoy.
There we go. I didn't want to pull an Eddie.
I said Duquesnoy. What the fuck?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. I kind of like to see Duquesnoy get get another highlight reel finish, man. I think sometimes they rush these guys. Like both of these cats are like, like Jesse said, on long win streaks and prospects in the division. And it'd be kind of nice to see them fight somebody other than each other. It feels like this is a fight that should happen maybe a couple fights from now with them. But the UFC tends to do this a lot, man. They put these prospects together early on in the game a lot. You can go back through fighters' careers and look at when they fought each other early on. You know what I'm saying? You're like, God damn, a lot of really tough guys fight each other early on in their careers, man. So it's not the greatest matchmaking. I'd like to see Duquesnoy get, somebody a little more easily handleable. But it is what it is. Fuck it. One good thing about it, we'll find out how legit he is. I mean, I think he's kind of the one. What's the other cat's name?
Cody Stamann.
Yeah, I know he's got more of a grappling based fucking style. So I think they're probably looking for old Tom Duquesnoy to shine a little bit. So this will be a legit test for him. At least you can say that. If he does come out and knock Homeboy out, then he's definitely on to big things.
Fucking Duquesnoy. Shit.
You know what though? I agree with Fred. I mean, look at what is it, Walt Harris, a little bit lower on the card here. When he first got into the UFC, he got beat by Jared Roshaw and then Nikita Krylov. Two guys that, except for Roshaw, he did go on a little bit of a run for a little bit in the UFC, but then he kind of crapped out. Krylov, the same thing. They were good at the beginning, and then they kind of just died out. And they ended Walt Harris's career in the UFC really quickly. Although now he's back and he's kind of been here for a little bit now. But it's one of those things that, if you crush a prospect too soon, we might not get to ever see him back in the UFC. I mean, they might sign with Bellator, Risen, any of those other companies, and then, we're out of another top contender.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And the thing about Duquesnoy is that this kid, he's young. He's a pretty young kid, right? He's like 19, 20, something like that.
Something like that. Which, I guess means that he'll be able to bounce back from it. But fuck.
Oh, surely. Surely. He's a young kid, so we'll see him. All right. That is the main prelim. What's up? 24?
He's 24, yeah.
Guys, look, he's 12. Motherfucker. All right. All right. That's your main prelim. Prelim on FX. That's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And now we move on to your main card that goes live on pay-per-view. 10 p.m. Eastern time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. Kicked off by Beneil Dariush against Evan Dunham. I like Dariush. I'm a Dariush fan. Even though I think he had like a fight or two that he won that he probably shouldn't have, if I remember correctly. But what do you think on this one, Jesse? Who are you picking?
This is a tough fight, man. I think the last time we saw Dariush, let me look at this real quick. It was when he got literally killed and sent into a coma by Edson Barbosa by a flying knee.
Yep.
That was the last time we saw him. And that wasn't too long ago, March of this year. So, I mean,
that fight was competitive up until that point, though.
True. But I mean, once you get, laid out like that and your lights go off like that, I don't think you should be fighting at least for quite a while. I think he should have taken a little bit more time off. But, Dariush is the type of guy that when he loses, he just wants to get back in there. A true fighter, right? The signs of a true fighter that wants to get back in there, really wants to compete. Evan Dunham, I mean, what can be said about Evan Dunham? He's been kind of up and down in his career in the UFC. I mean, he goes on a win streak, gets a couple losses in a row that goes on a win streak. Currently, I think he's on a 4-fight win streak, and a lot of those guys, I mean, not really top name guys, right? Rick Glenn, Joe Lozon, Ross Pearson, all guys that have kind of, passed a little bit past their prime. He didn't catch them at the best. So I think this is a good test for both guys. I just think that it's a little too rushed for Beneil Dariush. I think he should win. He's the better striker. He's the better all-around mixed martial artist. But Evan Dunham's a tough dude. He's a tough bastard, and I think he's going to make a fight out of this.
Yeah, so you're picking. Who are you picking? Dunham?
No, I'm picking
Dariush. Okay. All right. I thought you were fucking making a case for Dunham. Fred, who are you picking?
I'm picking Dunham, man. I think that Dunham is the better striker, actually, and I think that he's a tougher, grittier kid. I think Benil will have the edge in the grappling department, but I think that Dunham is savvy enough. You know who Dunham reminds me of for some weird reason? Fucking Dustin Poirier. Have those pricks ever fought? Well, they like remind me of like cousins or brothers or some weird shit like that. Like I always fucking I want to confuse them and shit. Like I kind of confuse their fights and shit with other cats. I guess their styles seem kind of similar too, to a degree. I just think that Evan Dunham will be tougher, and unless Benil can get him on the ground and control him on the ground, I think that Evan Dunham will win a point, like striking fight. I do think it's a really good fight to open up the card with too, though. It'll be fucking pretty high paced, I would imagine. I don't see that fight being boring. So,
yeah, I'm winning that one. I'm taking Darius on this one as well. Going here along with Jesse. All right, next up we have, I believe, these two ladies. These two flyweights are making their UFC debuts. I know one of them for sure is Mara Romero Barella out of Italy taking on Kalindra Faria out of Faria, I'm assuming that's how you say it, out of Brazil. Their records are they're not bad. 11-4 and 1 no contest for Barella, and Faria is 18-5-1. Not a lot known about either one of these. Jesse, you have anything on these two?
What was it? Kalindra was supposed to fight Andrea KGB Lee. And they were both making their debut here, but Andrea Lee tested positive for some sort of diuretic a couple years ago, and so the UFC could not waive her 6-month testing pool thing, so that's why they had to pull her from this fight, and so they brought in Mara Romero Borelli or whatever. Like you said, there's not much really out there for both of these girls. I think just because Kalindra was already on the main card, that's probably why they kept her in the spot. But two girls making their debut on pay-per-view, I mean, this is big time for both of them. So, you can't really call UFC jitters for either one. I think they're both going to be very nervous. They're gonna put on a performance either way, I think. So, this could be one of those sleeper fights that we're all talking about afterwards. But it could also be just a horrible fight. Who knows?
Well,
what division is this?
This is flyweight, women's flyweight.
Is this the first women's flyweight in the UFC?
And pay-per-view for sure. I mean, as far as overall, it's supposed to be no, I think it is the first.
No, this is the first flyweight women's fight, right?
No, it's not. What was it? Valerie Letourneau and what's her name? The one with the squeaky voice that does Muay Thai. What's her name?
What?
JoJo?
Yeah, JoJo Calderwood. They had a flyweight fight.
Huh.
Was that
like officially a flyweight fight, or was that just some shit that was moved up or something? So is that the official first one?
It was officially a flyweight fight, but it was also before we even had the talks of a flyweight division. So
right,
they were like, this is the official like start of the flyweight division. But I think that was the first flyweight fight that we've ever seen.
Okay, fair enough. But this might be like the actual start of the division, since now we know there is a fucking women's flyweight division coming. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, about it. Like the same thing happened when they were first launching. What was it? The strawweight fight, right? They started bringing in other talent from other places. You know, people that weren't on the show. So I mean, this is at least as a start, right?
All right. Enough with this, Eddie. Can you see their pictures?
No, you can't.
Jesus fucking Christ! Well, who are we supposed to pick now? We don't know who's hotter.
I'm going off of what I see on SureDog, and I honestly wouldn't pick either one, but. If we're going off looks, but here's the thing. So Barella's has I think she was in Invicta for a while, and then Faria was at World Series of Fighting. So we're not talking about the two highest level girls making their UFC debuts in the on pay-per-view. So it's hard to pick one.
I'm going with the Brazilian broad. Based on the strength, the Brazilian broads always have fantastic asses.
Yeah, shit, why not?
All right. Except for the asses part, but I think that just because she was already training for Andrea Lee, that high level striking, I think she's the one that's gonna pull out this win.
There you go. Yeah, a lot of people, and I know I haven't gone back to the YouTube comments in a while. A lot of people don't want to see DJ win this fight at all. I think Raider said, "Fuck DJ, I'm sick of it," and pretty much everybody else is like agreeing, other than maybe Liam. Liam says I like DJ, but I know that puts me in the minority. What are you gonna do? All right. Yeah. No, I'm with you on that one. And then Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys give us your picks in the chat here. I can see it. I can see it. So I'll be throwing out you guys' picks as well. Hard to pick this one though. I'll go with the Italian chick just because Fred's going with the Brazilian.
I know.
So Jesse, you gonna pick or no?
Yeah, I did. I said
The Brazilian broad because she was playing him for KGB.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And as far as the KGB thing, just to clear it up, that was because she wasn't in the USADA program long enough, right?
She wasn't at all, and
At all?
they were just gonna waive her USADA thing, kind of like the Brock Lesnar thing, but because she popped her a diuretic before, USADA said you can't waive her; she has to go through the testing protocol.
Well, goddamn. All right. Well, fuck. Only Brock Lesnar gets that pass. All right, moving on. We got the heavyweights, man. This is the third to last fight. Number 2 ranked heavyweight Fabricio Verdum, former heavyweight champion, against number 6 Derek Lewis, the Black Beast, the hero of Houston, whatever you want to call him, throwing down here at the heavyweight division. We talk about Verdum, right? Verdum against Tony Ferguson, saying all this stuff, and then so he spoke. He's part of the focus on that story. Meanwhile, Derek Lewis was saving people in Houston, and he was in an interview on Media Day today. And he was talking about how he's not even focused. He's like not focused on a fight because of all that went down in Vegas, and then of course the stuff in Houston. So I mean, look, still a heavyweight fight, right? More than likely someone's gonna get knocked out. But just to start here with you, who are you picking in this fight?
This is a tough fight for me. I like both guys. I think both guys are just on any night they can really be the most talented heavyweight. Just given the circumstances. Derek Lewis is a guy that we've seen is super resilient and just can put anybody's lights out. And Verdum, I mean, a lot of people were claiming he's probably the greatest heavyweight ever. He's submitted, some of the greatest heavyweights out there. He's been in there with everybody. It's just hard to pick. I mean, those circumstances are pretty hard. With Derek Lewis saying that he's not down, so I mean that seems like that's his game plan every time. So I don't know. I like Derek Lewis. I think Verdum is he might be ending his career pretty soon here. I don't think he's gonna get another opportunity at a title shot. I think I don't think he's gonna be hanging around too much longer. I think Derek Lewis, might take this by a knockout or something. So, although it hurts a lot, I'm gonna go with Lewis.
You want Derek Lewis? All right, Fred, who are you taking?
Well, Jesse, I will say 2 things here. A, I pray to God you're right, and B, you are a retard. This is a fight that I've never been more clear cut on what I think is going to happen and what I want to happen. So let's start with what I would like to see happen. What I would like to happen is I would like to see Derek Lewis get the knockout. I sure as shit hope Jesse's right. Between the shit that he's doing in Houston, his fucking personality in interviews, and his fighting style, I'm fucking all in on Derek Lewis. I hope he fucking gets the knockout. That being fucking said, this could not be a worse matchup for Derek Lewis. He literally has a puncher's chance in this fight, man. I really can't stand Verdum, but stylistically speaking, man, all Verdum has to do is get one takedown, and this fight is a wrap. I don't like Verdum, but that cocksucker's good. And I think he can strike at least serviceably enough to get a hold of Derek Lewis and get the takedown. I honestly think Verdum subs him in the first round quite easily. I hope not. Nobody will be happier if Derek Lewis catches Verdum and fucking JDS as he makes that nose wobble and fucking sleeps him. I will be, know this, if that happens, I will be fucking jumping around my living room ecstatic. I just, if I'm being honest, I really feel like this is Verdum's fight to lose, man. If he gets one takedown, the levels in which Verdum is ahead of Derek Lewis on the ground are unprecedented. You know what I'm saying? Like, Verdum's an animal on the ground, and Derek Lewis is going to be swimming with fucking sharks if that fight hits the ground. And I mean, Verdum can get the fight on the ground. So first round submission.
You know what though? I would agree with you, except we've seen people try to take Derek Lewis down, man. And we've seen guys that are better at taking him down and fail. and the people that have gotten him down, they can't finish him on the ground. So I don't know, man. This is one of those like tricky fights that it seems like it's a layup for somebody, but it just could be one of those things where, you know,
it's heavyweight.
Too long.
It's heavyweight.
Just,
anything can happen.
You're right. But Verdum is also coming off of a knockout not too long ago. You know, he's not, in my opinion, I think this is too fast for Verdum. If this was next year, like say February, March, I would be right there with you, Fred. I'd say Verdum all day, easy. But this is really soon after that knockout. I just don't think this is the right time for Verdum to take this fight.
Yeah, well, bet your stash on it, Jack.
Oh shit!
Hey, when I bet, I pay my bets.
Oh
Jesus
no!
Christ. Some things never die.
Going back to early 2017.
I don't bet with Welchers, my friend. Not no more.
Well, keep your little stinky mustache then for all of me. Derek Lewis is still getting that ass beat.
Oh shit! You know, I'm taking Derek Lewis by just massive knockout. I'm with Jesse a little bit on this one, just like Verdum getting caught before. It's I think he gets caught again, but I'm also kind of sick of Verdum. I think he's got one foot out the door for real. So on the YouTube comments, oh shit, I fucking lost the place where I was, motherfucker. A lot of people taking picking Derek Lewis, but Gunda says Verdum is gonna slaughter him. This is a terrible fight. Raider says Lewis is gonna lose, man. Bad back, no cardio. Good point. Shout out to Mike Jarvis joining us. Better late than never is what he says. Joining us on here. Joey Tremendous says Black Beast by motherfucking KO. And Gundes comes back, says Verdum by Omoplata in the first. That's hard to get in MMA, but if anyone's gonna pull it off a heavyweight, it's gonna be Verdum. Tell you that much.
For real, like I almost wouldn't doubt it. See him pull off a fucking twister or some shit, man. I'm telling you, man, Verdum on the ground is no joke, man. You must understand. This is a guy that has submitted Cain Velasquez.
That's Cain. What happened?
Fedor. I mean, I don't like Verdum, but the cocksucker ain't nothing nice.
Right. Yeah,
for sure.
Hey, that wasn't C-level Cain, and I don't know why. I'm Cain. Where the hell's Eddie on this? But I'm the one saying that it wasn't C-level Cain. But wasn't Gundeth the one that last week said the same thing? Verdum by Omoplata.
That problem. It was him that said it. Yeah, he said it right now.
Okay, so that again, he's calling it. So if that happens, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I have to shave your mustache.
I would go more of a Kimura or arm triangle if I was picking. I think that Verdum will eventually get him down and get top control and work for a fucking Kimura or arm triangle.
Yeah. Look, for Derek Lewis, man, and Raiders right. His cardio is kind of shit. He starts sweating fucking grease and shit in 5 seconds. So it's gonna be
the first round though. When they first say go, you know what I'm saying? All fights start on the feet, you know, and he's got nasty power. So the first minute or two will be very interesting. I think if Verdum gets that fucking takedown though, as good old Joe Rogan say, that's a wrap, folks.
Yep. Uncle Hank's drinking buddy says Lewis is my pick. John Smith says Verdum by sub first round. Let's see who else we got. Lewis's back is hurt. Well, of course, he's a big motherfucker, man. So yeah. All right. Mike Jarb says then the Jin Get Welcher is about to make a bet he won't pay.
So fucking glad you could join us tonight, Mike.
Yeah, right. Yeah. All right. Moving on to the co-main event of the evening, a fight that a lot of people believe should be the main event, but it is not. It is for the outright flyweight title for DJ. Yeah, for DJ, it's a lot more rich. It's not just a title, but he's got the chance to make history with I think it's the 11th consecutive title defense, right, for him. It is Demetrius Johnson taking on Ray Borg. Ray Borg missed weight last time around. I forgot, it was like 214 or 215 he was supposed to fight at. But yeah, didn't happen. So now we got this fight with Moraga and Bibulatov in the fucking early fight pass prelims, just in case Borg's fat ass can't make weight. So Borg's coming in with no nutritionist. He's supposed to make weight. We'll see tomorrow or on Friday, excuse me, to see if he makes weight on that one. But he gets to fight the champion here, Fred. It's I mean, look, is there anyone to pick other than DJ in this one?
Well, no, I mean, there's no real good reason to pick Ray Borg. He very well may win too, man. This is MMA. Anything could fucking happen. But I mean, I don't see how you map out a game plan in which you make a logical point on how fucking Ray Borg beats Demetrius Johnson, which is exactly why. And I'm not trying to fucking hate on DJ. All the fucking joking aside, real ass talk, man. Will y'all be impressed with this record-breaking performance? And I don't mean this fight per se. I just mean DJ's whole run. I gotta be honest. For me, like, he might be winning more fights, and this might be more title defenses than Anderson technically. But I'll always hold Anderson's run in higher regard than DJ's. I felt like DJ fought a who's who of nobodies to beat this record, and I know that wasn't his fault. I know that, but life's not fair. I don't give a shit. It's the way it goes. And now he's topping the record with Ray fucking Borg, who literally nobody on earth can make a good fucking case for beating him. I don't know, man. Well, yeah, what is there to break down with this fight? I mean, I suppose you could go find what Ray Borg does good and say that maybe he could catch DJ in an exchange, or you know, he could fucking land an overhand. I mean, you know, what the fuck, man? Anything's possible, sure. But DJ should win this fight 9 out of 10 times. And what do we really gain from it, man? What do we learn if DJ comes out and fucking beats Ray Borg in any way? If he trounces him, we learn nothing. If he gets rocked and comes back from a little adversity and wins, we learn nothing. If he wins a close fight, we really learn nothing. People will shit on him and say, blah, 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 he wasn't that good, whatever. He still wins. He still beats the record, and nobody really gives a fuck. I don't know, man. For me, do you care, Jesse? Let me guess. You care about his record holds some prestige with you or something? Is that what you're...
I do. I do care because, you know, this is the kind of thing that... No. Okay, fine. But you got to look at it this way, Fred. In the moment when we're watching people do these things, a lot of people take it for granted. Like, you know, when Jordan was playing, a lot of people went to his games and didn't really care up until after.
Whoa, you cute Mexican cocksucker. Did you just compare Demetrius Johnson to Michael Jordan?
I sure did, because this is the thing. He's doing something that nobody is going to be able to do. Nobody. And I will put my mustache, I'll put my hair, I'll put anything that whatever DJ ends up, you know, having the title defenses, I don't think there's anybody that's going to get close to that, just because of how advanced MMA is going to be from here on out. It's not going to be tomato cans anymore. It's not going to be a new division that nobody has fought at. It's going to be guys that have been fighting for a while and have learned all these skills, and they're just going to be tough bastards, and nobody's going to be able to hold on to a title 10, 11, 12, 13 times. A lot of people are going to say that this is a nothing fight. It should be an easy fight, whatever. But when somebody is able to dominate each of their fights, whether he wins by submission, decision, knockout, DJ's able to impose his will and win and make it look easy. He makes it look easy. And that's what's impressive to me. All right. Now, on the other side, Ray Borg, he's got a tough challenge ahead of him. But with everything coming out of Jackson Wink, they believe that they have the guy, the style, the speed, the skills. They believe that Ray Borg has all those things. And on a perfect night, he can come in and shock the world. And that's what it's got to be for Ray Borg on Saturday. It's got to be a perfect night for him. It's got to be that perfect performance. That's what it comes down to for me. Can he have that perfect performance and really showcase all the skills that in little glimpses we've seen? We've also seen him have horrible fights. I mean, to lose to Justin Scoggins, Dustin Ortiz, those are two guys that aren't really top 10 guys, honestly. But he lost to them. And they were just bad performances, both decisions. And that's the other thing. I know for sure that this is probably going to be a decision because of the fact that Ray Borg is a tough guy. He knows how to pace himself. He's not going to put himself in a lot of danger. And I think it's going to be a pretty tough fight for DJ to dominate as he has before. That being said, I think DJ cashes another check, takes another belt home, and we're watching history in the making, guys. I mean, we should be. That's the thing. We should be praising this guy instead of like crapping on and following Dana White's MO of like, oh, nobody watches this pay-per-view, nobody cares about this guy. Why are we listening to Dana White? Why are we being Dana White, talking head? Why are we doing this? We should be praising this guy. Everybody should watch this fight.
They're the facts. They're the facts. Nobody watches DJ fight. Nobody buys his pay-per-view. Nobody cares because he's fighting nobodies.
That's kind of it. I mean, look, what?
Those are straight from Dana White's book of facts, right? Those are Dana facts.
No,
I'm sure those.
Listen. You can rattle off who he's fought. I mean, come on. Who has he fought? Uncle Creepy? Fucking
great fighter.
Who?
No, I said Uncle Creepy, great fighter.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm naming the credible guys. You know what I'm saying? Like
Dodson.
You got
Benavidez, Moraga, Ali Bagutinov, who was on drugs, EPO, and he still couldn't beat him. EPO. Come on, guys?
Ali Bagutinov now. That dude bit the dust hard. I think he got snuffed out in fucking Legacy Fight Championship last I heard.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He fell off a fucking cliff this time.
Real quick, on the YouTube comments, Gundes says, fuck you, DJ, with a middle finger up. Liam says, gonna be a shame when he beat the barely ranked guy instead of Borg. Yeah, he's talking about Borg not gonna make it to that fight. Gundes says, Borg by Wrestle fucking the second. Damn. Come on, man.
Damn.
Raider took it to another. God damn. She took it to another level. Says Raider says Borg gonna get a case of HIVs and pull out. God damn.
Whoa.
She took it back. What?
And I didn't even mention the best guy that he fought, Henry Cejudo. He made him look like a chump in one round.
Man looks silly. Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Mike Drive says, I hope DJ gets destroyed. I'm tired of his silly face. Look, man, a lot of people are not into DJ at all.
See? Listen. Daddy's right. I'm trying to tell y'all. History will not look kindly upon DJ's accomplishment, man. Like Anderson Silva's reign. I don't care what nobody says. I was alive during that reign. I was around for it. It was fucking impressive. It was almost Mike Tyson-esque. You couldn't wait to see Anderson fight. DJ does not have that appeal. He's not pushing the boundary. I tell you what, he said he wanted to beat this record. I think it's silly. I think beating Ray Borg literally means next to nothing, but I'll give him this one. After this fight, I better see DJ fight somebody I care about. If I fucking see DJ, I tell you what, if they line him up with fucking Jussier Formiga after this, I ain't watching it. I'm not fucking bullshitting around, Jack. I will not watch DJ fight another ass clown at 25. I don't give a fuck whether Cody's got to come down or DJ's got to go up, but it's time for DJ to start fighting guys that matter.
You know what? I'm actually with you on that. I think they need to make that TJ fight after this, and I think they will. But that's especially if he wins that fucking title.
Don't worry, they will. After TJ gets snuffed by Cody, he'll go down.
Yeah, make the TJ fight. Yeah. Uncle Hank's drinking buddy says DJ needs a high speed chase or bank robbery to get attention. Damn.
And then Liam, tattoo.
Yeah. Liam says if he was into finger blasting, he would be viewed differently. Gundes says he's a two-faced cunt. Watch his Twitch failed videos. And then Raider makes a good point. This is a different point. It's about people looking up to sports figures, right? Fighters, football players, basketball players. Raider says Brett Favre was perfect, and then he sent out dick pics. Watch out who you look up to. It's a good point. But, again, it's another one of those things where it's almost like John Jones on coke. I don't care.
Listen, I've said this before. That's why I like my humans flawed. I like to know what your problems are. That way you don't surprise me. That's why I don't mind junkies sometimes. You know what their problems are. Dope fiend. I know right off the top, well, you're a dope fiend.
Yeah.
Cool. I know what to expect.
So we're all picking DJ here?
Oh, fuck yeah. Come on. As much as we all hate him, nobody's got the balls to pick Ray Borg. Let's be fucking serious.
Yeah, all right.
I think Gundes picked Ray Borg, right?
He picked him by WrestleFuck.
Yeah, listen, I tell you what, if I had a fucking gun to Gundes' head right now and said, pick the winner, if you lose, I'd blow your fucking brains out. I highly doubt he picks Ray Borg.
Hey, fuck. All right. Moving on.
Ray Borg's mama ain't picking Ray Borg if I got a motherfucking gun to her head. Nobody on earth. Ray Borg's coach would be like, DJ.
BJ. Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. All right, moving on. Gunda says I picked boring. Okay, there you go. Moving on to the main event of the evening for the interim lightweight title. Interim. Number 2, Tony Ferguson. And Kukui taking on the Motown Phenom. Number 7, Kevin Lee. This should be a fun ass fight to watch. You got Kukui's a funky ass motherfucker, right? Goes in there with weird angles. We all know his story. Kevin Lee starches dudes, and if he gets you on the ground, that's a fucking bad place to be with Kevin Lee. But that 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu coming out of Eddie Bravo's camp with, he's cornering obviously Tony Ferguson. I think it's gonna make for a pretty good fucking fight here. Jesse, who you picking?
Okay. Have people submitted their picks on the comments there?
For this fight, no. So
I just kind of want to feel how it's flowing, because to me, I think Kevin Lee is going to shock everybody. That's how I feel. I feel everybody's riding Tony Ferguson a little too hard, and I feel he's got that 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu, but execute 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu in the octagon. We have not. We've seen him attempt to try to do stuff, but he always switches back to regular jiu-jitsu, a good guard, a good, balance attack from the bottom. He's great at attacking from the bottom, but it's not 10th Planet style. The only person that I've ever seen actually use the rubber guard and everything in MMA is Ben Saunders, and his success rate with it was not always the best.
It doesn't go well.
So BJ used it rather effectively too, far as it goes.
Yeah. BJ used to bring his leg up. Yeah, right. He used to bring his leg up real high up.
Yeah. But again, it's one of those things where I think we claim that Tony Ferguson is a lot of things and he's dangerous in a lot of areas, but we don't remember some of the bad things, where he got rocked by a nobody at the time, taking a last minute fight. He got rocked and he almost got put away by our boy, what's his name?
Fernando.
And the thing is that Tony Ferguson is a slow starter. He's not fast to get going. Kevin Lee is also a slow starter, but he is always on the move. He's always on the attack. He's always moving forward. He's not maybe attacking you from the get-go, but he's putting pressure on you and he's trying to figure you out and everything. And I just think Tony Ferguson is too much in his own head. I think he is drinking his own Kool-Aid. Him, talking back to Virginia over there saying, have fun fighting on my undercard, saying that he's already got his call out Conor McGregor, all this stuff. He's looking past this fight, man. I think that Tony Ferguson, I just don't think he's going to do it this time. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's skilled. I just see Kevin Lee being able to dominate him and beat him. I'd say 3rd round knockout.
Kevin Lee. All right. Hey, real quick before Fred gives us his pick, Gunda's taking Kevin Lee, Liam's taking Ferguson, Raiders taking Ferguson. I think John Smith took Ferguson. Clear that up real quick, John. John Smith, if you picked Ferguson or not. Mike Jarvis says Lee will shock the world and shut that prick Tony up. Gundeath agrees. Joe Tremendous says Ferguson is gonna make Lee look like a silly bitch. All right. And yeah, as far as picks go, yeah. So, and Gundeath goes, yeah. Gundeath goes, you're never right, Joey. You picked Conor in the Mayweather fight. Yeah. well. And then John says he won't make weight. All right, well, hey,
look at that. Well, we know not to fucking pick wrong with Gundeath. He seems to not fucking forget a good one.
Oh, he's got a fucking memory on him. Fred, who you picking, man?
It's weird, man. Tonight we're having a weird thing here, me and Jesse. Usually I would pick with my heart and not with my head, and I would have picked Derek Lewis by 1st round knockout, but instead I emphasized that that's what I would like to see happen.
Yeah.
This fight is kind of like that, man. I would love to see Kevin Lee win and get the W and fucking, I'm not a huge Tony Ferguson fan. But if I'm being honest, dog, I don't know, man. I haven't really seen enough of Kevin Lee. Tony Ferguson is fucking experienced, man. He's got some wins over some really high-level guys. And I think he'll have a slight edge in the striking department. I think he'll have a little edge in the cardio department. And where Kevin Lee does have the edge on the ground, it's kind of the same type of vibe, man. I don't know if he'll be able to impose that on Tony. I think Tony can at least survive on the ground with Kevin Lee. The only way I think Kevin Lee wins this fight or submits Tony is if he happens to rock Tony and then follow him to the ground while Tony's hurt. I think he can submit him then. But if he just takes Tony down, I think Tony will be able to defend himself. And eventually, with that goofy fucking striking of Tony's, he'll end up getting the fucking better of Kevin Lee on the feet. Pains me to say so, but I do think that that is what will probably happen. If you had a gun to my head and I had to pick the winner of this goddamn fight, I would probably be forced to pick fucking Tony Ferguson. Although it makes my fucking balls shrink up and hurt to do so.
Yeah, and why?
No, I'm just laughing because I just figure Fred would pick Kevin Lee.
I want to, but realistically, I haven't seen enough from him. This will be the fight, though. If he actually submits Tony, I'll be on the fucking. Well, I guess I won't be on the wagon because then he's got to fight Connor, and I got to root against him in that one. I would be on the fucking wagon otherwise. Yeah. I mean, this will be a big win for him. But I mean, what the fuck, man? Michael Chiesa, he's cute and all, but like that win's not enough for me to really buy in. As much as I'd like to, I can't buy in just yet.
Yeah, look, if you look at the quality of opponents they both faced, Ferguson's gotten the higher level guys. So
by a long shot.
By a pretty good shot. Because Kevin Lee's fought wins over Chiesa, Francisco Trinaldo, Magomed Mustafayev, Jake Matthews, and Efrain Escudero. Who hasn't beaten Efrain? You know what I mean? It's like it's not to say, but that's kind of where we're at. We're here with good old Kevin Lee. Meanwhile, Ferguson, real quick. Ferguson, Rafael Dos Anjos, Lando Bernada, Edson Barbosa, Josh Thompson, Gleason Tebow, Abel Trujillo, Danny Castillo. I mean, you get what I'm saying, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's I hate it again. I want Kevin Lee to win so badly, but because I want to see that lead. I honestly want to see the lead McGregor. I think that'd be fun shit to watch.
Right.
But I think Tony Ferguson's gonna take this one, and it'll be like a third round like submission. I don't think it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna be difficult, but I think it's gonna be pretty standard, I guess. Is Kevin Lee like how big of an underdog is Kevin Lee in this one? Anyone know?
I have no idea, but I wouldn't imagine he's a great underdog. I would think
it's not a big underdog.
Close. I would think he's a bit of an underdog, but it's probably pretty close.
Motherfuckers love it to be